I mean, this is about, Liz, as low as you can go. I mean, for a former United States president to use just a few days before the 6th-year anniversary of the Benghazi attacks, to use that as an opportunity to stomp all over those people's graves and launch a cheap political attack is abominable. And it's a reminder that this is why the country is in the place it is. Because when you have a president sanctimoniously wagging his finger in your face, telling abject lies, it's toxic. I mean, you have the Chris Tonto, as they call him, saying that when he saw this, it literally made him want to choke the president. Now, I think that goes a little too far, but you got to understand, when you have someone who risked his life to save people on the ground while they're being hit by mortars and heavy weaponry, for the president to just denounce that as, oh, it's just a conspiracy, I mean, that's infuriating. And I honestly believe it's a reminder of why this country is in the place that it is, where we're literally having violent clashes in the street, because this kind of rhetoric and this kind of behavior is extremely divisive.
It is. It's so insulting. It's heartbreaking, too, to think of the families of these fallen Americans having to listen to the president call the death of their loved one a conspiracy theory. I do actually have to agree with the president on one thing. There is a wild conspiracy theory that's associated with the Benghazi attacks, but it was perpetuated by his Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and then U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Susan Rice. It was they who blamed this, knowing full well the reality that it was a terror attack, a coordinated attack meant to kill Americans. They peddled a conspiracy theory telling us, you and I, as if we were too stupid to discern the truth, that it was because we were Islamophobic, created a YouTube video that offended people across the world, that our countrymen died. That is a wild conspiracy theory.
Absolutely, and I think you laid it so perfectly out in the intro to your segment. I mean, we have, as you said, the email from Hillary Clinton saying to her daughter, this was done by an al-Qaeda faction. And then at the same time, and it wasn't just Susan Rice, it was Jay Carney and others going out saying this was the result of a disgusting video. They knew. So you have to wonder why they intentionally chose to mislead the American people on all of this. And I think it is fair journalistically to speculate, or at least ask the question, was this a massive cover-up for maybe a political reason? I do not think that is unfair to ask.
I don't think so. I think it's quite obvious why they would cover something up of this nature, that the entire administration, the entire Obama administration, was unwilling to say the words radical Islam. They wanted to take the motivation radical Islamists vocalize to us themselves, that they're acting in the name of their own religious beliefs. They are waging jihad against the West. The Obama administration wants to erase that from all the attacks. So how on earth would they acknowledge this was a terror attack without acknowledging that which they didn't want to acknowledge, radical Islamist ideology?
Because remember, Obama had decimated ISIS or had decimated Al-Qaeda, and terrorism was not a threat anymore. So, they can't actually call it what it is because Obama was supposed to have gotten rid of it all.